Sanjay sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Khwajaji. Good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir, thank you, sir. आप एकदम प्रायोरली ज्वाइन कर लिए सर 5 minutes बिफोर.
हाँ, अभी पहले वाले स्पीकर का हो गया क्या?
जी. अपने पहले स्पीकर थे संजीव जैन सर क्रेडा से.
हाँ,
जी हो गया सर. उनका 1 घंटे में हो गया था सर. उनको कुछ
अच्छा
मीटिंग था
अच्छा अच्छा
तो फिर वो वाइंड अप करके मीटिंग अटेंड किए थे.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
जी सर. अब क्या बोलूं सर, लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट सर आप ही का है सर. सर
आप चाहे तो स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं.
बस सर 2-3 मिनट में शुरू कर देंगे सर.
बिल्कुल. खड़े साहब नमस्कार.
नमस्कार डॉक्टर संजय कुमार जी.
अरे सर
क्या हाल चाल सर?
बस ठीक है सर. तो बहुत दिनों के बाद आपसे इस मोड में मुलाकात हो रही है.
वेलकम सर.
बहुत दिनों के बाद मुलाकात हो रही है अपनी.
वो भी इस प्रकार की रहती है. चलिए सर, आपका स्वागत है. और सौरभ से तो बात होती रहती है मेरी.
हाँ.
पूजा मैडम,
सौरभ से बात होती रहती है.
हाँ.
जैसे कम हो पा रहा है.
बिल्कुल.
तो ये डॉक्टर खाजा जी जो आपके दूसरे कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं मिश्रा मैडम, रश्मि
जी सर.
मिश्रा.
जी
ये भी कोऑर्डिनेटर है ना. ये कभी इनका एंकरिंग वगैरह या प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ नहीं है.
उनका बैकएंड में पूरा ऑपरेटिंग है सर, जितना भी
अच्छा
प्रोसीजर हो रहा है.
हाँ.
जी.
नहीं ठीक.
पूजा मैडम, आई रिक्वेस्ट पूजा मैडम टू वेलकम डॉक्टर संजय कुमार सर.
पार्टिसिपेंट एक्चुअली ये प्रोग्राम जो हो रहा है उसमें आप लोग नॉलेज को इंक्रीज तो कर ही रहे हैं, साथ में इसका फ्यूचर प्रमोशन और रेगुलेशन के लिए भी बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंस है क्योंकि आईसीटी प्रोग्राम है. 8 है. अब उनको 8 मॉड्यूल्स करना है. 8 मॉड्यूल्स. एक एग्जामिनेशन होगा आप लोगों के लिए, तो एग्जामिनेशन 8 मॉड्यूल्स पास करना जरूरी है. और खासतौर पर उनके लिए जिनकी सर्विस 5 साल से कम है. जिनकी सर्विस 5 साल से कम है और ये आईसीटी इंस्टीट्यूट में काम कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए अभी एक मॉड्यूल टेस्ट भी ऑर्गेनाइज होने वाला है एमएचआरडी द्वारा. वो टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी कंडक्ट कराएगी. जब उसमें सक्सेसफुल हो जाएंगे आप लोग, उसके बाद आपका रेगुलर अपॉइंटमेंट आ जाएगा. चलिए मैडम, प्लीज प्रोसीड.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. I heartily welcome our keynote speaker for the 16th session of this one-week teachers training program, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Professor, Computer Science Department at Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur. Sir has held many responsibilities at the university level as Head of the Department, Dean, Faculty of Information Technology, Executive Member Council, Chairman of Board of Studies, Chairman of Central Board of Studies. His area of specialization includes computer network and parallel computing. Sir has also worked on India's first supercomputer program at NIT Allahabad. He has delivered more than 50 expert lectures, written books, and he has many scholars under his guidance as the PhD awardee. He is a recipient of Chhattisgarh Combined Energy and Engineers Association sponsored Eminent Engineer Award by Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh in the year 2008. He has been felicitated by the Institution of Engineers Chhattisgarh State Center on Teachers' Day celebrated at NIT Raipur. Sir, we are very glad to have you with us today. Thank you for sparing your special valuable time with us. He is a very renowned researcher and a very eminent academician. Now I request sir to kindly proceed with his keynote session.
Thank you. Thank you organizers for giving me this opportunity and giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts in this August gathering. The topic which I am going to discuss today is very important. That is important for survival of entire humankind on the earth, and that is the topic of green computing. So let me share the screen first. Is it visible? The screen is shared.
Yes, sir.
So, topic of my today's presentation is green computing for sustainable development. As the presentation will move ahead, you will come to know the importance of this topic and why I have taken up this topic. And my objective is to realize you that how much carbon dioxide emission we people are doing through our small gadgets, laptop, mobile, desktop, etc., and in other way also, and how to reduce that, which is important for all of us. I'm starting with one दोहा of Sant Kabir ji. अभी अभी कबीरदास जी की जयंती हुई. क्योरी कमलिनी तू क्यों कुमलानी तेरी नाल सरोवर पानी. कबीर जी ने अपने समय में कहा था, और बहुत बाद में सैकड़ों उनके कई और साल बाद दुष्यंत कुमार जी जो आधुनिक युग के कवि हैं, उन्होंने भी एक कविता लिखी थी, अब तो इस तालाब का पानी बदल दो, ये कमल के फूल अब मुरझाने लगे हैं. दोनों ने अलग संदर्भ में लिखा, लेकिन हम लोग इसको कोरिलेट इस तरह से कर सकते हैं कि दोनों क्वेश्चन आंसर है. कबीर जी ने कहा कि भाई कमल का फूल तो पानी में खिलता है, तो वो मुरझा क्यों रहा है, पानी तो इतना है. तो दुष्यंत कुमार जी ने कहा कि पानी ही अब पॉल्यूटेड या गंदा हो गया है, इसलिए ये अब जो है कमल का फूल मुरझा रहा है. So I will cover on following points: objective, introduction, impact analysis of waste on environment, carbon emission, energy awareness, energy saving, steps taken in computer science department here today only, and conclusion. So as you know that since time is short, 1.5 hour only, so I will try to cover in that time only. I may gear up some speed afterwards. Objective of this presentation is to create awareness about pollution through IT sector and send message to check it. As I told earlier, how much pollution through IT sector is being done and how to curb it out. It is not only the big industries that create pollution. PC, laptop, mobile phones, tablets also create pollution. Therefore, each user owes a responsibility to curb it. We see while going in train, bus, etc., that big industries with big size chimneys are emitting smokes, black smokes. We think that only these industries are creating pollution, but it is not like that. Even our ordinary devices, these devices are also creating pollution. I will tell you how. And considerable amount of pollution. Unfortunately, low level of awareness exists among the people about e-waste. E-waste has also become a serious problem nowadays. So that also I will deal. So, as the topic is selected, sustainable development. So, this topic I have not taken from here and there. United Nations has set up 17 goals for sustainable development, which are to be achieved by the year 2030. And these 17 goals, I am not reading all the goals. United Nations has set up 17 goals for sustainable development. Development which is sustainable. Sustainable development to be achieved by 2030. I am audible? Things are all right? Kajal ji? Things are all right?
आवाज आ रही है सर, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
Okay. These goals are zero poverty, goal number 1, zero hunger, goal number 2, good health and well-being, goal number 3, quality education, goal number 4, gender equality, goal number 5, clean water and sanitation, goal 6, affordable and clean energy, goal 7. Only 7 goals I have taken up here, and for we people, important is quality education, which is goal number 4, set up by United Nations. Water, clean water is goal number 6, and clean energy is goal number 7. So today's topic of our lecture that matches with this goal number 7. Clean energy is related with green computing only. Clean energy is related with green computing only. That is why our topic is very much related with goal 7 of United Nations. So protecting environment is our fundamental duty. We talk frequently about our fundamental duties. This is our right, the fundamental right. This is our right. This is our fundamental right. How we are getting deprived of this, my right, etc., etc. But I would like to tell you that about fundamental duties are also there. I will give brief, although this is not the class of law, but still I would like to apprise you something about fundamental duty and fundamental right. So fundamental rights are defined in Part 3 of Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights, which we talk frequently. More specifically, Article 1432 of Part 3 defines fundamental rights. Okay. But there are 11 fundamental duties also as defined in Part 4A of Indian Constitution, and out of those 11 fundamental duties, preserving environment is duty number 7. So you can appreciate how much importance is given, and whether we are fulfilling our duty or not. Part 4A means it is not main, rather it is added afterwards. A means it is added. Okay. So Part 4A is added by 42nd Amendment in 1976, and more specifically Article 51A of Part 4A defines fundamental duties of Indian citizen. Anyway, Article 51AG of Indian Constitution states directly to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures is the fundamental duty of Indian citizen. You may think how we are destroying river, how we are destroying forest. Okay, that answer I will give afterwards. As you know that human body and whole universe is also made up of 5 elements. Panch Tattva का नाम सुने. Earth, water, fire, air, space. क्षिति जल पावक गगन से मेरा पंच तत्व से बना शरीरा. रामचरित मानस में लिखा हुआ है. 1:4:11. So out of these 5 elements, air and water are most polluted. Okay, and 2 major reasons behind this are waste and carbon emission. Waste and carbon emission. There are 3 types of waste: inorganic waste, electronic waste. You can interrupt me anywhere. Don't wait my lecture to finish up and then to ask. Nothing like that. Impact analysis of waste on environment, non-significant, significant, severe. That means you are seeing a table in which all three categories of waste are given in left side: electronic waste, organic waste, and inorganic. Inorganic, organic, and electronic. And what are the examples of these waste? For electronic waste: floppy, hard disk, cable, power supply unit, monitor, logic board, keyboard, PCs, etc. Organic waste: canteen waste, poultry, farms, food processing, animal dropping, food tower, etc. Inorganic waste: plastic material, paper waste, wood waste, metal, etc. Discarded furniture. This table I have taken from CSI magazine, and very good table is given. Three divisions are done how to show the impact. Non-significant is shown by 1, significant is shown by 2, and severe is shown by 3. So in this table, wherever you see 3, that means you can come to know that this is very severe. 1 means it is negligible. Okay, in electronic waste, and impact on human, environment, agriculture, air, land, and water we will see. So you can now see floppies, effect of floppies, old time floppies is very little. Okay, cable also little, but monitors are very severe, have very severe effect on human, environment, agriculture also, land, etc. It is non-significant, but on human and environment it is very severe. Similarly, our printed circuit boards, keyboards, etc., PCs which we make use of, that has impact of 3. That means severe. But organic waste, all the things are 1, 1, 1, 1. That means organic waste has very little effect. And inorganic waste, you can see that is also mostly 1, 1, 1, 1. So effect is less. But in total, electronic waste is having more impact on environment, human, etc., as it is clear from this table. This is shown by, same thing is shown by graph. Blue color is showing for electronic waste, organic waste is shown by this orange color, inorganic waste by green color. So on impact on human is very severe for electronic waste. On environment also it is very severe. Agriculture, etc., it is equal to organic waste effect, etc. These are shown. According to the table, effect of electronic waste is worst. And electronic waste contains hazardous materials like lead, mercury, cadmium, phosphorus, powder, barium, and black carbon. Electronic waste. And therefore, e-waste can cause serious diseases also like cancer. India alone generates around 4 million ton of e-waste each year, and in coming 10 years this is likely to become 18 times, 20 times it will increase in future in coming 10 years. So you can see or you can think, you can realize that how severe it is and how much severe it is going to be in near future. Electronic waste. New electronic equipments are coming in the market and older are getting dumped. Only in Bangalore city, around 30,000 computers are dumped each year. So how to deal with this problem? Electronic waste is getting generated. So reduce, reuse and recycle should be promoted. Reduce the use, reuse and recycle will take up afterwards. Reduce and reuse is in our hand, is very much in our hand. But more R&D is needed to bring new recycling technology. Recycling is not in our hand directly. That means we means from user point of view. But reduce and reuse is very much in our hand. I will wait for 1-2 minutes and I will tell one example what I have done today only in this morning. I have got one money plant today. I have brought from my house in one small bag, and just now I have instructed my queue to fill up some water in this. This will be on my table now. So in this way, that plastic material which I had got in flight, in plane, or with some edible, that I have brought here, and I have filled some water and one money plant today, just now, 10 minutes before. So this is the example of reuse. That means instead of throwing that plastic material, whatever it is, and we are reusing it. Plantation, if you talk about plants, then I'm giving some statistical data. In India, you can see India, Brazil, Canada, China, USA, Russia. So population, you can see like this, 1.33 billion. How less? It is 0.2 billion only Brazil, whereas India is 1.3, Canada 0.03, China, USA 0.3 only, Russia 0.1 only, whereas India it is 1.3. Number of trees you can see only 35 billion, Brazil has 301 billion, Canada has 318 billion, in India it is 35, China 139, USA 228, Russia 641, you can think. And therefore number of trees per person is only 26 in India, and it is 4,435 in Russia. So this population is for 2017-18, and therefore there is an urgent need for plantation. You can think how much important it is now to have plantation. India is the biggest user of groundwater also. India is the biggest user, and therefore we should preserve groundwater also. It is said sometimes that 4th World War will take place for water. 6 gases contribute towards carbon emission: carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, hydrofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon, sulfur hexafluoride. 6, when we talk about carbon emission, then actually it is the combination of 6 gases which are emitted, and these are called combinedly greenhouse gases. And greenhouse gas emission by IT sector only, I will tell you that although there are 6 gases, but it is CO2 which is most important, and therefore generally we take CO2 emission only for that means we may neglect for some crude type of calculation other things. So greenhouse gas emission by IT sector in the world is 3 to 4%, which is likely to grow to 6% in next 10 years. Okay. It is IT sector greenhouse gas emission or CO2 emission is only 3 to 4%. You can say that it is very little, but it is increasing with very fast speed. And in IT sector, what? In IT sector, PC and monitor is contributing 39%. That is shown here with pie chart also. Printer 6%, land, office, etc., and mobile, telecom, fixed, etc. services. This is the magazine from where I have taken this data. CSI communication. Carbon emission is measured in terms of carbon footprint, and amount of carbon dioxide in kilogram or ton released into the atmosphere by an activity or a person or office over a period of time, usually a year, is called carbon footprint. Carbon footprint, this has become a very common word. Just now on 4th of June, we have celebrated World Environment Day, and on 4th June, this month only, previous month, you might have seen articles in newspapers, etc., that carbon footprint word has become very common. So what is carbon footprint? So it is amount of carbon dioxide in kilo or ton released into the atmosphere by an activity. Suppose you are that means arranging one marriage or any such function, social function, conference also, or a person, maybe by person, or maybe by office, maybe by industry, over a period of time, and usually for 1 year, it is called carbon footprint. How much CO2 is emitted? That is carbon footprint. So carbon footprint is the total set of greenhouse gas emission by any organization, event, product, person, as I told earlier. Anything which is emitting, which is causing emission of greenhouse gases, mostly CO2, that is the source of that carbon dioxide emission. And carbon footprint may be measured for that particular thing. And there are two types of carbon footprint: primary footprint, secondary footprint. In primary footprint, direct emission, that is emission by burning fossil fuels, etc. are there. Secondary footprint, indirect emission, that is emission by manufacturing, transport, packaging. Now coming on the curiosity, to quench your curiosity, that how your laptop is causing emission of CO2, how your mobile is causing emission of CO2. So actually what happens, suppose this is your house, okay, and you see that pole mounted transformers remain there in your colonies, big transformers on pole, and connection or feeder through line is taken, that is called feeder, from pole mounted transformer to your house. From where it is coming in pole mounted transformer, it is coming from substation. For Raipur it is Gudiyari. In Gudiyari there is one step down transformer, and you know that NTPC thermal power plant is situated at Korba thermal power station. Generator is there and coal is burnt there, and this electricity is generated with turbine and generator, and then this electricity is stepped up through a step-up transformer. It is transmitted through transmission lines, which we see when we go in train, bus, etc. Big transmission lines, big towers, and then suppose for Raipur it is in Gudiyari, a step-down transformer. It is stepped down, and then it is distributed in all that means colonies, etc. And through pole-mounted transformer it comes to our house. Suppose we are charging a mobile, then whatever electricity that mobile is drawing, that electricity is coming from light from this Korba. So that electricity, because you know electricity cannot be stored. Electricity is generated right at the time of its use. So that means indirectly some coal is being burnt and then electricity is coming to you, and therefore with burning of coal, CO2 is emitting in the atmosphere. So this is how we are also, that means through IT sector also, CO2 is emitted in atmosphere, and that CO2 may be measured, and how that also I will tell afterwards. Just now on 18th May 2021, newspaper, not newspaper, IBC 24, news has come that there is acute shortage of coal in Korba. Now you can think, in Korba coal is also in acute shortage. So green computing will bridge up the demand supply gap of coal also. So role of green computing is, green computing can effectively control pollution level. And let us see how. What is green computing? Let us understand. Green computing is the environmentally responsible use of computers. Environmentally responsible use of computers and related resources. Such practices include the implementation of energy efficient central processing units, CPUs which are energy efficient, servers, peripherals, as well as reduced resource consumption and proper disposal of electronic waste, which I talked earlier. Electronic waste there should be proper disposable. Then this is called green computing. That means we should sensibly use our IT resources, our CPUs, laptops, mobile phones, etc., monitors, etc. Some steps which we should take that I will tell afterwards. So this I have taken from CSI Communication, January 2000. Energy efficient devices will produce less carbon emission according to previous diagram. That means if it is energy efficient, then carbon dioxide emission will be less, which I have shown according to that diagram of Korba, that diagram which I had shown you earlier. So energy awareness, let me calculate or show you with a small calculation that how your mobile also, laptop, mobile also are creating CO2 emission and how much also, with a small calculation. So awareness about energy in surrounding is a prerequisite for green computing. So first you should know mathematically, numerically, how much you are creating pollution through your gadgets. For example, the mobile phone, laptop, PC, bulb, fan, etc., which we are using, how much energy these equipments are consuming and how much are wasting. So we will make use of one important term that is called emission factor. This is a new mathematical term and that is 0.85, from where I have taken 0.85 from this website, emission factor website, CEA, Central Authority of India. This is government agency. That agency has given this 0.85 emission factor and 0.85 of CO2 per kilowatt hour. Per kilowatt hour. Let me clear your fundamental unit which we measure in our energy meters in our houses, meters which are installed outside in veranda, etc. That is actually called energy meter, and units that is for kilowatt hour. So in this way, 0.85 kg of CO2 per kilowatt hour, 1 unit or 1 kilowatt hour produces 0.85 kg of CO2. This is eye-opening fact. And earlier I had one small phone, Nokia X2, and that had like this rating. You can see your mobile also, rating 3.7 volt, 860 milliampere and 3.2 hour. If you multiply these two, 3.2 will come. See, 3.7 and 0.860 we multiply like this, it is coming around 3.2 watt hour. And if you convert it into kilo, then 0.0032 kilowatt hour. If you multiply by 0.85, it is like this, not kg. That is 2 gram of CO2 my mobile was creating in 1 hour. Electric bulb of 60 watt, yellow bulb that we use in our houses also. 60 watt means 0.06 kilowatt hour unit. And if you multiply by 0.85, it comes on like this. That means it creates 51 gram, it emits 51 gram of CO2 per hour. Tube light is of 40 watt. So this is how it is causing 34 gram of CO2. Fan is of 80 watt. 80 watt means like this, 0.85. So in this way, 68 gram CO2 is emitted by fan, electric fan. The laptop on which I am giving this presentation also, my laptop with battery. So it is written on that laptop in battery actually 10.8 volt 4090 milliampere hour. And if we will multiply these 2 volt and 2 milliampere, it will come watt hour. So that is like this 47 matching. And if you multiply by 0.85, it is like this much kilo. That means per hour, that is around 40 gram of carbon dioxide is getting emitted per hour. Suppose this is 1.5 hour lecture, you can think that about 60 gram of carbon dioxide will be emitted by this laptop, on which I am giving my presentation. Assuming 1 hour daily, 365 into 40. Now you can calculate for 1 year. Suppose you are working daily for 1 hour, then 365 into 40, that means so much. In 1 year, this laptop will create 14.6 kg of CO2 if I am working daily for 1 hour. Similarly, with PC, or suppose we talk about PC, then it will cause 90 watt hour. And on full load, average consumption is 300 watt. For ordinary desktop computers, at full load, consumption is 300 watt, and at no load, that means when your computer is just on and you are not working anything, then also it is drawing 150 watt out, 150 watt. And therefore, if computer is on without work, suppose you are leaving your computer on without working on that computer, then 150 watt hour energy is getting wasted in 1 hour. That means if you multiply by 0.85, then it will come like this: 127.50 gram of carbon dioxide is getting emitted in the atmosphere. You can think how much it is. And suppose a computer remains on without work for 1 hour daily, then in 1 year, that computer will cause 146 kg of CO2, will leave it so much of kilogram of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. Suppose you are living without work the computer for 1 year, that means with 1 hour daily only. So this is how we can reduce our CO2 emission. So ICT sector consumes around 14% of energy produced in the world, and by 2030 it is expected to grow up to 50%. Now those days are gone where only big chimneys and big industries were creating pollution. You will think in coming future ICT sector is equally contributing the pollution as much as those big industries. I have taken this from reference from this journal like this. And energy saving is affected by, as I told, by technology, recycling, and by practice. Practice means reduce, reuse. That is not wasting. Energy saving can be affected both software and hardware wise. You can reduce energy by reduce CO2 emission by software as well as hardware. Software means better algorithm and protocols. We in MTech PhD we call this we give the assignments or tasks to the scholars to develop an algorithm which has less complexity. So if it has less complexity, then what is the meaning? Less processing, less work is to be done by transistors, diodes, ICs, etc. And therefore, less CO2 will be emitted. So suppose you are improving some algorithm, complexity wise, then also you are saving energy. Hardware means better architecture and new materials. Therefore, metallurgical science, metallurgy is also of much importance. New materials should come up in which less loss of energy takes place. So technology by observation, we can say that a 60 watt bulb gives same light as 40 watt tube light, and that is also same 15 watt CFL or 8 watt LED. So with less energy, 8 watt LED is giving as much as 60 watt bulb. Direct wattage saving reduction in watt is there. So 1 watt CFL gives 50 to 60 luminescence because light is measured in terms of luminescence. Watt measures power. So 1 watt LED lamp gives 100 to 130 luminescence. CFL means compact fluorescent lamp contains gas, and LED lamp contains solid. Therefore, LED lamp is more eco-friendly. And now I am showing you one table, commodity, life and cost. So regarding this bulb, 60 watt bulb, so instead here is 1000 watt bulb. It has life of 1500 hours. 60 watt CFL has 5000 hours. 20 watt, only 20 watt LED will give as much as light as much as 1000 watt bulb. It has life also more, that is of 50,000 hours. Induction light, it has life of 80,000 hours. But for medium class people, poor class people, this is also important, that initial cost of bulb is very little. 1000 watt bulb will come in around 50 rupees only. 60 watt CFL will come in 300 rupees. 20 watt LED will come in 1000 rupees. Induction light 1800. So this is how initial cost is of course more in LED etc. But life is also more, and CO2 emission is also less. So whosoever can afford initial cost, he should install these high technology light emitting devices. So induction light is, regarding this induction light, that is this one, fourth one. Induction light is used in, its lamps are installed in Mova Bridge of Raipur. And induction light is generally used for heavy duty purposes. Current is induced in an external coil by electromagnetic induction, just like transformer. And 40 watt induction light is equivalent to 150 watt halogen lamp. Old time halogen lamp you might have seen. So 40 watt induction light will give as much light as 150 watt halogen lamp gives. So similarly, vacuum tube transistor IC with LSI, VLSI, that means large scale integrated circuit, microprocessor and multiprocessor pipeline, etc. are all examples of technological developments leading to saving of electrical energy. Pipelining, I give separate presentation on pipelining. This is a feature of parallel computing. Multiprocessor, this is also a part of parallel computing, in which I used to give lecture, parallel computing, pipeline, etc. separate lectures. And microprocessor, and these are the devices. So in this way, these are the that means technologically areas with the help of which we can reduce this CO2 emission in the atmosphere. CPU power, according to let us see about CPU power taken by CPU. So according to Moore's law, you might have heard the name of Moore's law. Number of transistors in IC, integrated circuit, gets approximately doubled in every 2 years. And it's, as a matter of fact, Moore had given this formula only for coming 10 years, but now it is still, after 50 hours years, this formula is holding good. That means number of transistors in integrated circuits are approximately getting doubled in every 2 years on ICs. Therefore, more heat is dissipated. If more number of transistors ICs are there, then heat dissipation will also be more CO2 emission will be there. And CPU consumes electrical energy and dissipates in form of heat due to I2R loss, copper loss. There are two types of losses, iron loss, copper loss. So energy current is related directly with I2R loss. And CPU consumes electrical energy and dissipates in form of I2R loss or heat loss. CPU power may be divided into three parts. CPU power is divided into 3 parts: dynamic power, shown by PDYN CPU power, short circuit power shown by PSC, and leakage power SC. So dynamic power, again, dynamic power is consumed by CPU is given by the formula P is equal to CV square F, where C is capacitance, V is voltage, and F is frequency. Frequency in gigahertz, that is the processing speed. And short circuit power is a new term. When logic gate toggles, see, whenever state changes, then heat dissipates. This is the fundamental. Whenever transistors change their state, energy gets dissipated. So, I was talking when a transistor is conducting, when a transistor may be in two states, either on or off. So, when transistor is on, that means it is conducting, then direct path exists between source and ground. You can see the working of transistor. I used to teach this in computer architecture, and I have prepared separate lecture. So for that, in which I used to show how transistor works. So in transistor, when it is on, then a direct path exists. This gives rise to short circuit power loss. The magnitude of this power is difficult to model. How much that small power is there is nothing like any formula for calculation of that small power, short circuit power. When transistor is in reverse bias, that means in off state, then also some current flows. We think that transistor is off, it is not taking any current, but still small current flows, and that current is called leakage current, and this current is very small. And both dynamic power and short circuit power are dependent on clock frequency, which I talked earlier. F means clock frequency, which is in gigahertz, while the leakage current is dependent on CPU supply voltage, which is usually 5 volt, 15 volt like that. It has been shown that energy consumption of a program shows convex energy behavior, meaning that there exists an optimal CPU frequency at which energy consumption is minimum. Okay, that means at a certain point of time it becomes minimum, and then it increases or decreases. Anyway, preserving energy. Let us see. So I tried to apprise you how energy is, how much CO2 emission is being created by VPQ. Now let us see how to preserve energy and how to reduce CO2 emission. So light, fan, TV, computers remain on when we are not using. Usually it happens. These devices are on. We should turn them off and remove plug when not to use for long period. We should remove plug also if we are not going to use for very long period. Second, we should remove plugs from electrical devices, because little power it keeps on taking. This is called phantom load, and phantom load is the electricity consumed when the electronic device is off or is in standby mode. As I told earlier, that suppose plug is there in this socket and switch is off, then also a very little power is drawn, and that power is called phantom load. Then this small power also taken combinedly, it becomes very large globally, and according to a study by US Environment Protection Agency and some other organizations, this may amount to 10% of total electricity bill. That means it may be as high, suppose 100 rupees bill is coming in your house, then 10 rupees may be maybe from phantom load. That means even if a plug is there but switch is off. Offices should install solar panels for electricity. This will save coal and reduce carbon dioxide emission. Solar panels should be installed. We should not use polythene, rather we should use paper or jute bag instead of polythene. These are biodegradable. Preferably, you may carry both. You may carry cloth bag, थैला, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं, from house to avoid polythene bags. That means instead of polythene bags, we should use jute bag, etc. And preferably we should carry from house the old style jhola, thaila, whatever you say, and bring whatever vegetables, etc. are there in that only, instead of taking small polythenes. Similarly, avoid purchasing water bottle. We very frequently in train, etc. purchase water bottles. Instead, carry water from your house. This will give you clean water, and even if you are purchasing water bottle, and suppose if you are purchasing water bottle, then don't throw it. Rather, cut the water bottle from neck and make penny stand of it. You can make a large number of decorative items. And there are various YouTube videos are available for making decorative items of waste products. You can see YouTube videos also. And thus think it twice before finally throwing anything in dustbin. Before throwing anything in dustbin, you think it whether it can be reused in some way or other or not, and that whether this can be reused in some other way or not. Similarly, in parties, we should not use paper cups. Rather, we should that means we should use paper cups rather than plastic cups. Plastic type foods are imported from other countries or brought from other states. So this needs transportation and packaging also, which causes pollution. We should also use local and organic foods. Local bhaji vagara, this is preferable. Instead of taking whatever you call other kiwi, etc. These are imported from different countries or different states. So instead of that, you take local foods. We should leave margins as low as possible. In page also, you should leave a small margin. By doing this, nearly one page in five pages can be saved. This will save tree. And similarly, we should print on both the sides of page. This will save paper and ultimately tree. Eco-friendly PCs have also started coming up. Veriton N281G was such an eco-friendly computer which used Intel Atom D425 processor. This computer had 2 GB RAM. Earlier, that means slightly old computer is this, 160 GB hard disk and Windows 7 Professional, etc. were preloaded. That means facility was that means especially made eco-friendly. In CRT, that means monitor with white screen consumes 74 watt and black screen consumes 59 watt. Now you can guess which one is better. Do you know, while surfing a website, around 10 mg of CO2 is emitted every second when you are just seeing website this and that. If video and animation are present in website, then as much as 300 mg is emitted, and in virtual reality games, it is as high as 1000 mg. So you can realize how much CO2 is emitting from your this laptop or surfing website, etc. When a computer is on and we are not working on that computer, then also it emits around 40 to 80 mg of CO2. your computer is just on and without any work, as I told earlier also, no load. Then also about from 40 to 80 mg of CO2 is emitted per hour. Governments should install solar panels in villages and offices to overcome electricity problem. Government should take steps to install solar panels, and this will reduce, save coal and reduce carbon dioxide emission. And cloud computing should be promoted, because in cloud computing, sharing of resources is done. And for example, in Chhattisgarh, CHIPS data center, which is there in civil lines near Coffee House, you might have seen, don't know. So there are various servers of different offices with efficient cooling and safety provisions. A lot of safety provisions are there, from mouse also, and from fire also. That means it is difficult for we people to take care of. They are especially taking care of everything, and you can just install your server, or you can ask space for ask space in their server for hosting your website, etc. Therefore, universities, etc., do not require separate servers. Instead of one college is installing one server for website, then other college is installing, and one is for finance purpose, another server is for mail purpose, etc., etc. Small, many number of servers. Those can be discarded, and entire server thing can be hired from this CHIPS data center for Raipur people or Chhattisgarh people, you can say. And tips for energy saving: if we are not using a computer for more than 1 hour, then we should turn the computer off. And if we are not using the monitor for more than 15 minutes, then we should turn the monitor off. I think it is clear. Colorful screen savers increase the consumption of electricity. Therefore, colorful screen savers should not be used much. If we want to search Google, then we can use www.blackle.com. Blackle.com. Result of this comes through Google only, but it is black, so it consumes less energy. As I told earlier, black screen takes less energy. And Blackle.com is just the extension of Google.com, because the result comes from Google only, and it is Blackle.com especially made for reduction in energy. So you can use Blackle.com instead of Google. It is a common practice. We leave the website open. If the website contains video, graphs and animation, then bandwidth and electricity both get wasted, and electricity bill also increases. By not leaving website open, we can save thousands of kilowatts. So we should not leave website open, because if the website is on, then it is taking unnecessary power, and which is causing carbon dioxide emission. We should avoid unnecessary downloadings. We should systematically arrange the downloaded materials in a folder, so that repeated downloadings of the same material can be avoided. Don't download same thing again and again. By keeping in mind these small things, we can save the environment from pollution. How to extend battery life of your laptop? So monitor consumes more power than hard disk, CPU. Your CPU is called, we teach students, CPU is called brain, but CPU takes less power and monitor takes highest power, and therefore keep the brightness level low. This is good for eyes also. And laptop has 3 options: high performance, balanced and power saver. Select power saver option or balanced option. in laptop there is a provision in right side of taskbar. Symbol of battery and plug comes here in this laptop also, my laptop also. You can also check it practically. So right click on that option in taskbar on right hand side, you can see plug and battery symbol. Click right and then you can see that power saver option is coming over there. Enable that option. Similarly, external devices connected with USB port draw power from the battery. After all, from where power is coming, it is coming from battery. Then these devices also consume power even if are not being used. For example, one pen drive is there attached with USB port. Very little power it is still taking, although you are not working on it, but just connected. If not needed, remove the external devices. Remove the pen drive. Unnecessarily don't leave connected that is with in the laptop or desktop. And another practical problem, we often forget the pen drive. So that will also not happen. If laptop has become hot due to excessive use, its internal fan will have to work more. There is a fan which has to work more if there is extensive heating in the laptop. And fan will draw power from where? From battery only. And therefore put the laptop in cool place. Although nowadays laptops are very robust, but preferably you should install or you should use laptop in cool places. Try to keep the lower surface of laptop in contact of air. Try to keep this lower surface particularly in your laptop in contact of air. And laptops and Windows, laptop with Windows operating system has built-in power settings. Some more power settings are there, and you can opt that when the display, hard disk and USB power should be off. There are various applications available which can save energy. For example, select power option, power plant, support system, etc. And put your laptop in hibernate when not working. This will save energy. So, in Rourkela, I was giving, in Odisha, rather, I was giving one lecture, and two people asked me the difference between sleep mode, hibernate, etc. So, I would like also to tell difference between sleep hibernate and hybrid sleep. Hibernate is for long time, like कुंभकर्ण जिस तरह से कहा जाता है 6 महीने के लिए सो जाता है, तो हाइबरनेट इज फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म. Sleep is for a small time, and in sleep mode all the open files and applications are written in RAM only. Mind it is written in RAM, and therefore computer takes less time in waking up. When we are again turning it on, then it will take less time. But in hibernate, all open files and documents are written in hard disk, not in RAM. And therefore wake up time will also be more, because data is to be taken from hard disk, which is a slower device. And in sleep mode, if we remove the plug, then data will vanish. Now, what is happening in sleep mode? If you remove the plug and you have put your laptop in sleep mode, then data will vanish. But in hibernate, data will not vanish even if you remove the plug from the socket, because the data is on hard disk, and therefore a computer is in hibernate, and we remove plug, then also data will not vanish. The computer technically stays on, but only uses a bit of power for RAM. In hibernate or sleep mode, what happens? That computer is taking very little power. That is for maintaining RAM. And hibernate allows your computer to turn off entirely. In hibernate, almost entire computer becomes off, which means once your computer is in hibernate mode, it uses zero power. Sleep mode is also called standby mode. Okay, sleep mode is also called standby mode. And one more mode which has now started coming up is hybrid sleep. Hybrid sleep mode is a combination of sleep and hibernate. Hybrid mode is meant for desktop computers. Hybrid mode is meant for desktop computers. In hybrid sleep, open documents and applications are written in RAM as well as on hard disk. Therefore, sleep time is high, but wake up time is less. Hybrid sleep means open documents and applications are written in RAM as well as in hard disk. You can appreciate hybrid sleep. In hybrid sleep, data is written in RAM and hard disk both, and therefore sleep time is high. Sleep time is high because data is getting written on hard disk also. But wake up time is less because data is coming from RAM. However, if while waking up data is not found in RAM, then data will of course be taken from hard disk. In this case, wake up time will also be more. So hybrid mode has nowadays that means this is coming, which is overcoming the problem of hibernate also. It is taking good features of sleep and hibernate both. The hybrid sleep mode is enabled by default in Windows 7 onwards on desktop computers and disabled on laptops. When enabled, it automatically puts your computer into hybrid sleep mode when you put it into sleep mode. So this is the difference between sleep hibernate and hybrid sleep. Now I am coming on. As I told that giving lecture is easy, but implementing yourself is difficult. So few steps as head of the Department of Computer Science I have taken in my department that I am telling you. So calculation of CO2 emission in department for 5 years because of electricity is done. Actually, I have one copyright also on this. I have taken one CG cost Chhattisgarh Council of Science and Technology project and then got it copyrighted also from Copyright Office, Delhi. So in that calculation of CO2 emission in department was done for last 5 years because of electricity, because of transportation and printing on both the sides of paper. This practice we adopt in our department, and nomination of energy monitors in classes are done. I will elaborate it. Calculation of CO2 emission in department for 5 years because of electricity. How it is done? So meter readings of each month for last 5 years in SOS Computer Science and IT Ravi Shankar University was collected, and meter readings were taken from engineering section. In university there is section called energy section, engineering section. They keep all that means electric bills, etc. So we have taken data from them. Please give us the data for last 5 years each month of our department bills, energy meter bills, and then we compiled that. The computer science building, particularly here in this building, from where I am giving this lecture also, into 3 parts this building is divided, and each part has got separate energy meter. And month-wise energy consumption for the year 2009-10 in all the 3 parts was tabulated in table number 1 I will show. Last column of table 1 shows total electrical consumption month-wise for financial year 9-10. And similarly, table 2 shows for year 10-11 and table 3 shows for year 11-12. Table 4 shows for 12-13 and table 5 shows for 13-14. That means in this way for 5 years we have compiled data like this. You can see this is table 1. This is given for 2009 and 10. And as I told, there are 3 that means energy meters. This is month. This is energy meter 1 called old building. This is called energy meter 2. This is energy meter 3 and this is the total. So this was the bill, electricity bill in April 2009. Yes, April 2009. Okay. And in this way, this is the total. And zero reading means meter not read. Okay. Then how we are calculating CO2 emission due to electricity in the year 2009-10? So kilowatt hour unit, as I told earlier, per year into 0.81 is the emission factor. And if you multiply both the things, total kg of CO2 will come emitted. And from where this 0.81 I am taking emission factor, source of our emission factor is CEA, as I told earlier. December 2014, CEA means Central Electricity Authority, and this is a statutory organization which is responsible for monitoring and calculating statistics on the power generation and uses in India. This is the body, government body, and this is the reference from where I have taken this 0.81. Okay, so suppose you calculate this, you multiply this 0.81 in previous figure 82128. Suppose you multiply 0.81, then you will get so much of kg. This much of kilogram was emitted by carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide emission was done from computer science department in the year 2009-10. You can see. This is the about emission factor CEA. See, you can see. Government of India, Ministry of Power, Central Electricity Authority. This agency is giving the value of emission factor. User guide like this it is there. So this 0.81 I have taken for 2009-10. For India it is like this. In 10-11 it was 0.7 like this. For 5 years like this we have taken. Similarly for the year 2010-11, these are the various months. This is service. This is bill. That means meter 1, meter 2, meter 3, and total. Like this, total electricity consumed is like this. And then you multiply again the emission factor into this figure. You multiply emission factor, which is 0.79 into this. It is coming like this. That means 38,713 kg of CO2 was emitted in 2010-11. Again, the source is same. Then in 11-12, you can see that total amount of CO2 emission was in kg was not CO2, rather total unit consumption was like this, 69,000 something, and then you multiply by 0.78, that is the emission factor, and therefore Department of Computer Science emitted 54,323.1 kilogram of CO2 in the year 11-12. Similarly, for 12-13 you can see like this. Again 3 meters are there, and this is the total unit number of units. And then you multiply by 0.83 emission factor, this much kg of CO2 was emitted by computer science department. And then for 13-14, again for 5 years we have calculated as I told earlier. This is the total number of units, and this is the total number of kg of CO2 emitted. In tabular form, this is shown here. Summary from the year 2009-10 to 13-14, CO2 emission in Department of Computer Science. It is like this: 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14 on total. Electricity consumed in units is like this. And emission factor declared by CEA, Government of India, is like this. And then it is like this. Total CO2 emission in kg was like this. So in 5 years, you can see Department of Computer Science emitted so much carbon dioxide due only to electricity. And table 6 summarizes the CO2 emission for the year 2009 to 13-14, which is as high as this for 5 consecutive financial years from 9 to 10 to 13-14. From the above data, we can draw a clear graph which shows yearly CO2 emission from Department of Computer Science. We can draw a graph also. This is blue line is for electricity, green line is for CO2. So this is the number of units, and this is CO2, like this, and this is for total. The graph shows that CO2 emission of the year 2019-10 is highest, and emission factor changes every year. Each year CEA that means announces the emission factor. It is not that it is announced 0.83, then it will be forever, which is declared by Central Electricity Authority of India. We can draw a conclusion that electricity consumption is directly proportional to carbon emission. Electricity consumption is more, then carbon emission is also more. As in the year 2009-10, electricity consumption was high, hence carbon emission was also high. You can see blue line is for electricity, green is for carbon dioxide emission. This is highest in 2009-10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, and lowest here. So after this, calculation of CO2 emission in department because of transportation. Let us see by transportation. Because in computer science department, for 5 years, we calculated CO2 emission due to electricity, then due to transportation also. And I have made a program which has got copyright in that LPG is also taken, gas cylinder, and human being also. Although in this particular project, it was only for electricity and transportation. So all the activities from different modes of transportation level to the emission of several million tons of gases into atmosphere. All the, as I told earlier also, all the activities cause CO2 emission, actually greenhouse gas emission. And I told earlier that greenhouse gases means gases like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon are responsible for climate change, and a carbon footprint is the calculation of the total amount of CO2 emission from a source. Carbon emission deals with CO2 emission. Although all these are called greenhouse gases, but CO2 is worse. Effect of CO2 is worse. So we approximate it to carbon dioxide emission only. And we are neglecting other gases. Carbon footprint due to transportation is given by the formula distance traveled in kilometer into emission factor. The way in which for electricity it was kilowatt hour, here in place of that kilometer is there. Emission factor is always there. So kg of CO2 emission will come. And in that case, in electricity case, we had seen it was CAA, which was the agency for giving emission factor. Here ICAP is the agency. Air Quality Monitoring Project, Indian Clean Air Program. This is also Government of India body. And complexity, in our work, we calculate CO2 emission by multiplying emission factor. with kilometers or number of electrical units consumed, whether it is for electricity or for transportation. We are just multiplying the emission factor. So for our program, our work, complexity is order of 1. Our problem lies under the category of polynomial time problem with a time complexity of order of 1. Because I always say my students to always calculate complexity. Therefore, I myself also calculated. So CEA, Central Electricity Authority, provides emission factor for electricity, and Indian Clean Air Program, abbreviated as ICAP, provides emission factor for two-wheelers. A sample report published in the year 2008 is shown in next slides. Like this. As I told earlier, ICAP gives for transportation, and in transportation also only for two-wheelers, not for 3-4-wheelers. I was telling about ICAP. So you can see that this is like this. Air Quality Monitoring Project, Indian Clean Air Program, and Emission Factor Development for Indian Vehicles. And this is a sponsored project of CPB and Ministry of Environment, Forest, Indian Oil, etc. and Project ARAI Pune. And CEA, Central Electricity Authority, provides emission factor for electricity, and Indian Clean Air Program, abbreviated as ICAP, provides emission factor for two-wheelers. A sample report published in the year 2008 is shown in next slide like this. See, this is a sample report of ICAP, which is like this. Indian Clean Air Program, abbreviated as ICAP, provides emission factor for two-wheelers only, like this. Motorcycle, 4-stroke, and three-wheeler. For three-wheeler also it is given. So this is this one. You can see 24.82 CO2, 24.82 gram per kilometer is emitted. CO2 is emitted by motorcycle of 4-stroke. This is the meaning. Similarly, here also it is showing for a scooter 2-stroke 38.54 CO2 gram of CO2 per kilometer is emitted, like this. For the calculation of carbon footprint through transportation, we have calculated distance of vehicle kilometer per year of each student and the staff member of SOS in Computer Science IT Department, Shankar University. That means we made a questionnaire and distributed to students and staffs. How much far is your house? How you come from house to department, etc. That data we collected. And for collecting data, questionnaire was prepared and distributed among staff members and students for evaluating fuel consumption by vehicles used by staff and student of SOS in Computer Science at IT Shankar University. So that is like this. So see, you can see this is my own answer for against that questionnaire. My name is written. This type of questionnaire we had given. CG cost many research project and this type of what is the name of a student or teacher and etc. How much is the distance of your house from the office? How do you come at that time? I was coming by like this, discover. And what is the price of petrol, etc. Small things. On this date I had filled it. Similarly, from all students and staffs, we had taken data. And then we have applied the emission factor as provided by ICAP on transportation to calculate CO2 emission in kg. And a survey was conducted in the department by collecting daily report of kilometers traveled by vehicle of the student and staff members, which is depicted in table 1-2 below, like this. Like this, we made a table. For example, my house is 4 kilometers away. I used to come by bike, and this is the total number of kilometers traveled in 1 month, like this. I traveled like this, etc. For all staffs and students, we calculated. For all classes, students. So again, coming on calculation side, total kilometer traveled by all students of the department in bike different, in scooty different, in 1 month was like that. And total kilometers traveled by staffs and students together for computer science department in bike only, and then for scooty only in 1 month was like this. Okay. Here there was only students, and here staff and students. And total kilometer traveled by staff and students of sales department in bike in 1 year. Now converting it into 1 year like this. And for staffs and students in scooty in 1 year like this. And emission factor as declared by Indian Clean Air Program, abbreviated as ICAP, is 24.82 gram per kilometer. 4.82 gram per kilometer is the emission factor for bike, and 38.54 kilometer for scooty. You can see that scooty is causing more pollution as compared to bike. And therefore, after applying these figures, total CO2 emitted in kg by staff and student of sales department in bike in 1 year was like this. So much of only bike, motorcycle, staff and student are creating 6,419 kg of CO2. And with scooty, this much of CO2 is emitted. That means more number of bikes are used as compared to scooty. And therefore, total CO2 emission in kg by transportation of all staff and students of computer science department in bike and scooty in 1 year was 9,714 kg. This much of kilogram of CO2 was emitted. 9,740 in 1 year. And then for more clarity, you can see like this. Bike, that means in the pie chart, this is the portion for bike and this is for this scooty. For more clarity, yearly CO2 emission by staff and students of sales department through transportation is shown in pie chart and bar chart from the graph as below. This is the bar chart. So through bike, this much was the CO2 emission. With scooty, this much was the CO2 emission, and this is the total CO2 emission in computer science department by all staff and students. So some assumptions are also there. Note that students come from, we have taken that students are coming for 9 months in a year, because 3 months of semesters are there. One month you can take for their examination, and 15 days for working extra for preparation, etc. So in this way, in each semester, 15 days in each semester. In this way, we consider that students come for 9 months. Similarly, contract teachers are here who come also for 9 months. But in remaining period of 3 months, some students come for. But in remaining period also, some students may come or may not come also. Makeup classes, etc. are held. So the staffs take a few days leave. So these small things we are that means leaving. You can say that what will happen when the staff is on leave. So in that much of detail we are not gone. But we are ignoring these small parameters and rounding 9 months to 1 year for simplicity. 9 months we have taken only for 1 year. Although this will give somewhat pessimistic results. That means, meaning is, in the meantime, there are some leaves. Students may take their own leaves also, but we are ignoring all those small things. As the vehicle, then further vehicles become old, then they create more pollution. So as the vehicles become older, they emit more CO2, but we are ignoring this parameter and assume constant emission by all vehicles. So in this way, this calculation was done, and so in this way I have shown you the calculation of CO2 emission due to transportation, and these were the assumptions. And now I urge all the participants to print on both the sides, and I will tell a small story, that is small facts also. During the time of British rule, there was a concept of printing on both the sides of paper. Printing on one side of paper only, because paper used to be thin and typewriters were used. Earlier, what was happening in 80s, 90s also, papers used to be very thin, and typewriter was used, which was using to hit that paper. That means we were unable to print on both the sides of paper. And even today also in Supreme Court, it is written to print only on one side of paper. That means nowadays laser printer we are using, JK bond paper, etc. we are using, but still we are printing on one side. And ironically, Supreme Court has also written print only on one side. So nothing can be said the Supreme Court is supreme. But there is writ pending in Supreme Court against this practice. So one can take a legal stand that nowhere is written to print only on one side. You can tell whether your university tells you to print only one side, whether it is written in ordinance that you print only on one side paper. If you are writing on both the sides, then nobody can stop you. And if somebody is stopping you, you can claim nobody show me the rule where it is written that only one side you have to print. And I have the logic behind it, and therefore I am printing on both the sides. Therefore, but willpower is needed within ourselves to print on both the sides of paper. Now with bond papers and laser printers, printing on one side of paper is absolutely not needed. In India, billions of pages can be saved by printing on both the sides of paper, and in this way we can save tree also. Nowadays printers are available which can print automatically on both the sides of paper. Therefore manual insertion of paper in the printer is not required. You may think again and again to reverse the paper and then again to print it out. But in my office also I am using Brother printer, which automatically prints on both the sides. So this is the notice I had circulated. A step towards say worth, in a step towards eco-friendliness. That means I have circulated this. All practical records and project reports except initial few pages of certificates should be printed on both the sides of the page, and this will save money, paper, and ultimately the tree. This will be a small step towards the work movement by the students and staffs of the department. This notice I have circulated and sent to VC office also, that in our department we will adopt this practice. This is how it is circulated. And then we make energy monitors. Following are the names of energy monitors. For example, this student is for one, etc. And your job of this energy monitor will be to make the switches off. Who will be responsible for switching off all electrical points and completion of after completion of their theory and laboratory classes. They will also see that taps are not open, taps of water, taps are closed properly at the end of each working day. In this way, and then we have given them this certificate, etc. The students are also happy. Plantation, you should make plantation, and plants emit oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide. Indoor and outdoor plantation is done in computer science department. Just now, as I told in the beginning of lecture, I have brought one money plant on my table today only. And similarly, in our department, I myself take around and take care of the entire garden. And we have made a lot of plenty of plantation like this. You can see. Good garden is there. So this is all conclusion. Low level of awareness exists about e-waste. Therefore, government should come up with stricter norms for disposal of electronic waste. By avoiding wastage of energy and adopting new technologies, we can save electricity bill as well as decrease the pollution level in air, water and soil. Thus, we can save future generation. We can give future generation a better tomorrow. And charity begins at home. We also owe responsibility to check pollution. Rather than blaming or advising government and society, we should exercise green computing practice in our daily life. That means you start from yourself instead of advising government, society that or blaming others. We should start from ourselves only. So this is all. Acknowledgement to CG Council of Science and Technology also. So thank you. Science begins, as I had started with one poem, so ending also. Science begins as philosophy and ends as art. And so does computer science. But the journey continues. Questions. Thank you for patient hearing. If anybody wants to ask some question, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, sir, for your beautiful session on green computing for sustainable development. I request audience, the session is open for question round. So you are welcome with your queries. Kindly unmute yourself and ask if you are having any query. Participants can unmute themselves and ask if they are having any query. Okay, sir, we are having your email ID as well. If there is any query in near future, we'll surely contact you. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge on green computing. And for the information of participants, sir has beautifully discussed the pollution created by IT sectors, the goals for sustainable development, the impact rating versus impact on waste categories, contribution of gases in carbon emission, greenhouse gas emission by IT sector, and carbon footprint. Sir has shared his deep knowledge on carbon dioxide emission and has given a very relevant example of the Korba Thermal Power Station, electric power generation, transmission, and its distribution. Thank you so much, sir, for discussing the role of green computing, energy awareness, and energy saving. We are looking forward to listen to you in near future as well and offline as well. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time.
Thank you very much.
All the participants are requested to kindly fill the feedback form. The link is mentioned in the chat box. And do join for the next session sharp at 2. The test link will be shared at 2 o'clock and you can participate in the test session.
Sanjay,
Over to you, Father, sir.
Quick question.
Sanjay, sir, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So I am leaving. Thanks for organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Surely. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.